individual first aid kit. All right. People want to know what we carry, what I carry. So let's do it. This one for the history books. First, the boo-boo kit. Everybody should have a boo-boo kit. We keep alcohol pads, Band-Aids, Tylenol, that's a good one, lotion, chapstick, triple antibiotic, or Neosporin basically. It's for minor cuts, minor, bumps, bruises. It's really just for the minor things, but it comes in handy when you need it. Guys will keep moist towelettes in here when you need to maybe eat something real quick or your hands are real dirty. Especially out on the front. Something that nobody taught me or told me about was hand sanitizer. And the importance of it is when you get to the front, there is a lot of dead bodies. There are bodies everywhere. Russian, Ukrainian, and not only that, but it's in the dirt. It's on weapons, on gear, on kit, the decomposing matter. And you're going to touch it if you get to the front. If you go to the front, you're going to touch it. I've gotten that stuff on my gloves without directly touching a body that day, and I don't know how I got it on there, but you'll get it on your gloves and you can obviously smell it. So hand sanitizer is really, really crucial to keep on you in, a decent amount, but small enough and not heavy enough to add too much weight to your kit. It'll really, but yeah, that's a nice little lesson for you. I also had people that saw where I had this, I think in a previous video, which is mounted on the back of my inner outer belt, say that it wasn't a good spot, that you couldn't get to it. All right, now for the IFAK. This is a PTAC brand IFAK, I believe. Bought it from Amazon prior to coming to Ukraine. Phenomenal. Pretty much most of the IFAKs that I've seen sold in Ukraine are of this variety. Same setup, same look, same everything, to varying degrees. Just other generic companies. So don't get hung up on the Amazon or the Airsoft thing that some people do. This thing, I've been using this exact IFAK for probably 2 years now. Been packed, unpacked, used, slid on, dropped, scraped, smacked, blown up, everything. So it works. You just clip here, opens up, and tear it off. All right. Now it's by itself. Have a place for an IFAK on the bottom. Obviously, the Velcro is to put it back on. And ta-da. So we got a lot in here. We got a lot to unpack. A lot of this stuff in here is my additions. Now, I really struggled with trying to slim it down, but also keeping the necessities in there, and also basically looking ahead and thinking of other things that we could have used and that we didn't have or might need. And it's hard. It's hard to find that happy medium. But ta-da! So unpacked. Here's what we got. Basically, got what every IFAK should have. You got your hemostatic gauze. You got your chest seals. Depending on who you ask, you probably should at least have 2, maybe 4, especially in Ukraine. This type of combat is like nothing seen, so I would say 4. That's why I have a twin pack here, another. Also vented, so you can vent. For those that don't know, it's like burping. If chest wounds, for sucking chest wounds. Your hemostatic gauze here have a hemostatic compound that helps clot the wound. Obviously, your combat gauze has the same thing. Your emergency bandage takes up a lot of the room in the IFAK, very thick, but as you can see, unrolls, covers up whatever wound they have, mainly on limbs. I don't know if it'd be big enough for a torso, but the syringes and the Lure Lock needle tips with a couple extra rubber bands in here. These are for what is in here. Ta-da! So in there, and another one of these with cotton balls in it so they don't break. I have adrenaline. 1 ml vials. This is how most of our narcotics and meds comes, in little breakaway containers like this, 1 milliliter. For those that want to know, when it comes to medication and narcotics, pain meds, morphine and such, fentanyl, whatever, the medic on the team keeps these. They're counted, they're monitored, they're watched by the medical unit of the battalion. And then prior to mission, they're distributed to whoever is going on mission for the inevitable situation that they get hit or get wounded. So that's how that works. This adrenaline is a little bit different. Obviously, it's not morphine. Nobody's abusing that. So I keep that with me, obviously, for an emergency situation. I haven't used it yet. Haven't had the need to. I'm sure there'll be plenty of jokes about that, but it is what it is. That's what I keep and carry. So that's what the syringes are for. I also do keep some lidocaine ointment for obvious reasons. Any nasty cuts or something that I get, shrapnel wounds, where you get your skin cut open. I would hope that would help some, the ointment. So it has helped in the past, with some tattoo stuff that I got. So I was kind of just thinking along those lines, trying to think ahead. So here we go. We got a nasal pharyngeal, a little airway opener here with the associated lube. Sorry for the camera angles. I'm trying to do this with one hand. No GoPro this time. Got some extra bandage here as well. You have your pen and the paper. So basically you can mark your casualty, and when he gets from the battlefield to the first stage hospital, they can have a basic rundown on paper. If you or someone who treated him is not there, they can have a rundown on paper to know what's wrong with him, where his wounds are, and what has been done to him so far. Yeah, obviously, shears, that's a big deal. A lot of guys keep them outside of their IFAK and on their vest so they can get to wounds quicker, which is a smart idea. I don't. I keep mine in my IFAK. Here we have 2 needle Ds. For those that don't know, these are decompression needles used for pneumothorax injuries, collapsed lung, or lungs that are filling with fluid. That can be a whole video on itself, and I do plan on posting a video on the medical training that we get and the medical training that we focus on, and how good is it, how often do we practice it, how often do we use it. I have actually been very impressed from day one with the medical training that we have gotten. And I can't speak for every other unit and the other battalions, but in 3rd Battalion, I mean, they keep us up. up to date on our medical training and the medical kit and medical gear. As far as like tourniquets and seals, vents, bandages, I mean, there is so much of that stuff here. We've got tourniquets for days, different kinds. Here on me right here is a cat. I'm not a big fan of the cats. I actually like the SOF tourniquets better. And the difference between those and these is these do not have Velcro. And when you pull them on whatever limb you're trying to cut off the blood flow to, you just pull it and it stops right there kind of by itself. I have Narcan, a Narcan nasal spray. For those that don't know what that is for opiate overdoses. And anybody who's ODing, you give them a spray into each nostril, and it should help them come right out of that overdose. The reason I carry that is for somebody is using morphine after they've been wounded in the field and they are ODing, basically. Let's just keep it simple. If they're ODing, I have the ability to help them. So just again, another thing that I added in there. It does take up a pretty good amount of space because of this package and its shape, but to me it seems worth it. Gloves. Now, whether you will use those gloves is the question, but you got to keep them because you want to use them if you can. Obviously, if somebody's wounded and you're trying to help them, or you're wounded and you're trying to help yourself, you don't want to be putting everything that's on your hands into your wound. I just wanted to show you, we get all different types of everything. So yeah, I mean, other ones I'll keep in my own bag, just to keep like more than one pair. Part of the job, man, is just really thinking ahead. As you can see, a lot of consideration needs to be how you can pack this and how is it going to fit, how big is it going to be, how bulky is it going to be, and where is it going to be on your kit. A lot of consideration needs to be taken into that, but just make it work. Also, moving on to the dangler, as I've mentioned before, I'll keep some stuff in here as well because this is the spot that you can get to very easily. One of the main things that I keep right here is my baby, my inhaler. I don't have asthma, none of that. Never used one of these for anything. I don't even know where or when I got this, but I ended up taking it with me for whatever reason, and it really helped me get through some of the long runs. I mean, I've always been fast and agile and fit, but I've never been a long runner. And some of these guys here, man, smoke cigarettes all day in Ukraine, as you know, and then can just lead the run and run forever. Not me. So this helped me get through, really opened up my lungs on some of these runs, and will help you in other situations. I'll tell you, one time I jumped into a BMP after firing, running, adrenaline pumping, all that, and was the first one to jump into the BMP, slid all the way to the back, and then 3 other guys slide in behind me. So now I'm in the back, squished all the way in the back with all my kit on in this tight little BMP, and I had like a little mini panic attack like in my head. It was really hard for me to open up my lungs and breathe at that time for whatever reason, and with my kit on, and just really kind of started to panic. So if you're somebody that struggles with situations like that and you're thinking about coming over here, or maybe you're already here watching, this might help. But yeah, so I keep that there just to keep this dry. These are lens wipes for my glasses, my ESSs. These are shatterproof. I'd like to say bulletproof, but really good glasses. These are lens wipes for those, very important. Another mask, very important, not for anonymity reasons, or anything like that, but for not breathing in the asbestos ridden houses once we blow them away. These houses are just, they're really, really like nastily built or poorly built. I don't even know how to describe it, but things that you do not want to breathe in. And you know, this is not the movies, man. Like, we don't do SWAT CQB. If guys are up in there and we're just gonna blow it down. That's it. RPGs, 40 mics, and a lot of rounds, and we're gonna blow it down, and then we're gonna go check out who's still alive. And you don't want to breathe in that shit. And there's plenty of other examples of other things where you want your airways kind of filtered as best you can. So that's why you always see people with masks. I keep one usually here. And then when that gets, you know, stretched out from wearing, you know, through half the day or soaked or dirty or whatever, I'll bust out the number 2, and then maybe even keep a number 3. Like I said in other videos, in here I'll keep some sweets and other stuff. My boo-boo kit will most likely be in there in the dangler. Sometimes I'll wear this 40 mic dangler in front of that, so this will still be there behind it for storage purposes. I've even taken soft armor and put it in the back there. Moving on to the pack. So basically, and I'll have a video on loadout for the backpacks. I know people are interested in what we carry in the packs. And just for short, obviously this won't be that video, but just for short, we load up with ammo. Everything's always ammo. Everyone comments in my soldier loadout video like, man, you have so much and all this. Like, you really, really don't understand the type of engagements that are going on here. We're not flying in on helicopter, dropping down, walking a little bit, and then, you know, kidnapping some farmer in a house at night. It's just not that. Like, we're walking a very long time, very far, through very dangerous territory to try to get to guys to kill them. And when we get there, we have to make the most. And the only way to do that is with lots and lots of ammo. So you and your specialty, whether it's RPG, machine gunner, grenadier, whatever, has to carry your loadout. Then on top of that, because the machine gun ammo is so heavy, we distribute that amongst everybody. So you have that extra. Then on top of that, on the way out, we're looting. Escape from Tarkov style. So we're taking extra ammunition, extra weapons, bull spikes, RPGs. That's just the reality of this. But in here, I do keep some extra med stuff. Like, I got a fork for eating, whatever. Here's some shampoo and hand soap. Some tape, some more alcohol pads, lure lock syringes. Here, I'll keep a splint. Anybody with a broken leg, shin, ankle, arm. Medic has more of these as well. In here, these are the wonder pills. Not just joking. These are chlorine tablets. So for water, in a super emergency, we can clean the water and drink it, obviously. That's one thing, like, since I joined the military in Ukraine, like, we have never lacked water. Since 4th Battalion or in 3rd Battalion in the safe houses, like, they keep us with food and they keep us with water, like, galore. I see these videos online of the Russians, like, damn near dying of dehydration out on the front. Like, it's just not like that for us. They give us all the water we need, packs of brand new wrapped water. So I actually haven't used these, but these were distributed to us before deploying to our battalions from boot camp. So some Excedrin, obviously, Oragel. Anybody that has like teeth problems, or maybe you didn't get a tooth pulled or a root canal or something prior to enlisting. I mean, again, I'm going to make a video on the medical treatment that we get in the Foreign Legion, which, again, I'll say is very, very good. But one of my biggest fears would be like having a really, really bad toothache. Everyone knows it's the worst pain ever, and not being able to do anything about it because you're on the front or you're at your safe house and, you know, they got people with legs blown off and stuff, and here you come in with a toothache. Got some legitimate Neosporin, the A+, you know. Again, a waterproof bag, some moist towelettes, extra Band-Aids, a gauze, and thermal blanket. Thermal blanket's obviously important. Anyone that's wounded, has lost a lot of blood, they're gonna get cold. Thermal blankets always have a use with 200s. Here I have a hand warmer. This is from Zippo, rechargeable, and it just heats up, keeps your hands warm. This is really good. It gets cold out here, even at night, especially when you sweat and sweat and sweat and move, and then the temperature drops. You really freeze. Obviously, take like granola bars and stuff. Maybe one extra bottle of water, but again, I keep my camel pack and my chest rig ready to go. I will take like this is a Magpul waterproof pouch, and I will keep stuff in here as well. But overall, again, I'll do a video on it. These are full of ammo. Just like us, we're full of ammo. This is full of ammo. A little bit of food, a decent amount of water, medical supplies, and ammunition. That's what we're carrying. That's about it, man. That's about it. You guys have any questions on anything else, feel free to ask. I want to do some gun reviews, some more in-depth reviews on my plate carrier, backpack setup, and battle belt setup.